继续，对。
Huh. This bag from Skirk has a ton of Mora in it. Does she have a job or something? Wait, no. After what we saw at Wamin Restaurant, that seems impossible. Can you imagine? It would go something like... I'll be collecting my paycheck now, boss. Oh, sure thing. Wait, who are you? Have we met? Can't hold a job if you make everyone forget about you. So, what did she do to get all this Mora?
Claimed some buried treasure, took care of a few monsters that were causing trouble. Nothing untoward. It's safe to use.
Ah! You heard all that?
A sonorous voice like yours is hard to miss. I wouldn't be surprised if the sound of it traveled to the nearest mountaintop.
Then, did you by chance happen to hear Paimon's little, joke earlier?
You mean when you called me Frosty the Lavender Melon?
No, sorry. Paimon totally misspoke just now. She didn't say that at all. It was, a Paimon lookalike. Yeah, she's a piece of work, that one. Always impersonating Paimon and giving people weird nicknames. Okay, fine. The truth is, Paimon didn't like you all that much at the start. But things are different now. You helped the Traveler in a big way, so... What do you say? Friends?
I noticed there was only one bed. Go ahead and get some rest.
Wait, what about you?
I don't get tired, and I don't need rest. I'm going to practice my sword work. That should help me regain some strength.
But your shoulder... Hey, don't just leave! Ah, whatever. Let her tire herself out. She'll come back eventually. Let's get some sleep, Traveler. That comfy bed is calling, Paimon.
Quiet.
Do you even remember how many of us perished in that fire? How many bodies were left to rot on the scorched earth? Yet you alone live on.
Keep your gaze fixed on your blade. You don't deserve to rest.
Run! Skirk! Run! Only death awaits us here.
Keep running, and don't ever look back.
Getting an early night's sleep is the best. That bed was so comfy. Wait, Skirk? Have you been sitting out here the whole night? The bed's all yours if you want it.
About 60%, maybe 70.
Whew! Paimon thought it would take at least a couple of days. That was fast.
No, not fast enough. That's 20% less than last time. Same training regimen, same intensity. Nothing felt different, but somehow the outcome fell short. No, I think the problem's with me. I need to meditate for the next 2 days. Deep introspection should help me find the issue.
Ooh, sounds intense.
See you in 2 days.
Skirk is still meditating, huh? It's been 2 days already. Shouldn't she be awake by now? Paimon can't think of anything we can do to help. Oh, wait! Breakfast! That's it! Paimon will go get breakfast! Skirk is gonna be starving when she wakes up. Be right back.
That's right. This is Skirk's inner world. Think of it as the threshold between the soul and dreams. This isn't your first time here, but what you remember is probably a space covered in darkness. I only managed to illuminate a small portion for you. Actually, it's my first time talking to someone like this. I only managed to break free and bring you here because the injury weakened her power. I guess that's why I can speak again, too. Call it fate, if you want. I think that's the word they use in this world for lucky coincidences like this, right? Now, before I take you to her, I gotta ask. You're the first outside— Oh, you noticed. This river represents Skirk's strength. Strength accumulates over time. It is the summation of a person's lived experience. So this river is where all the fragments of Skirk's life should converge into a single stream of memories and emotions, flowing forward as one. But as you can see, This river has been severed numerous times. It's because Skirk doesn't like who she was in the past. And all she sees reflected in the river is a disgraceful shadow of who she was. She cuts through water and rock with the sword of reason, severs her connection with the past, and begins...
You must learn to shut out all the pointless emotion. Crush the self that makes you weak, and become master over your physical form.
This isn't my first taste of failure or losing power. When you fall, you get back up again and become stronger. That's how it is.
The answer to one mystery invites another question, I see. Let's follow the river upstream. There among the cliffs, among the memories etched into her heart, lies the truth of it all. Soon, you'll understand everything. I've always thought that, even when falling leaves don't come from the same tree, they can still form bonds of kinship when they meet. Like meteors, you both made a journey through the stars. Both travelers who have landed on a planet that is not your home. Yet, when she first noticed your presence, seems like you've answered your own question. Skirk sees herself as a trespasser in this world. She's made a conscious choice to avoid altering its path. But let's keep going. It's still a long way to the source of the river.
You now have what it takes to wield immense power. From this day forth, I shall teach you no more. No one can become a worthy warrior through imitation alone. I have given you fangs and claws. Now, you must learn to hunt.
You wish me to travel the world beyond on my own, Master?
Indeed. Make new friends. Embark on your own journey. And piece together a new future from the shattered remnants of your past. We will still have contact through the Abyss. But know this. One day, I will take the life you worked so hard to rebuild and reduce it to ashes. Just like the fire that haunts your mind.
Why would you do that?
I have told you before. Fear is the catalyst for human evolution. You have tasted loss. You have known fear, so deep it can be felt in the bones. But as living beings, we all have an instinct to detach from that which harms us. And thus pain dampens over time, and the acrid taste of fear becomes but a distant memory. Yet now, I have bestowed upon you the gift of fear eternal. It will drown you in the nightmare of your childhood, or it shall drive you to defeat me, whatever the cost.
That is what Skirk's master, the foul Sertologi, looked like at one point in time. Of course, as a higher being, physical form is a triviality to him. He could appear as a beast, a human, or even a monster that defies description. The form you see him in here, clad in abyssal armor, is the one he usually wears when traveling through the stars.
For certain reasons, I need to bridge the power gap between me and my master as quickly as possible. But first, I need to understand the source of his strength. To do that, I need to follow in his footsteps, walk the path he once walked, and somewhere along the way, I'll find out how to defeat him. That is my sole focus and purpose.
I'll let you in on a little secret. The real Sertologi is terrifying. The scope of his power is impossible to understand until you experience it firsthand. It is absolute, the power to crush all things. Shall we keep going? Let's see. We've made it quite a ways already. This is Skirk, when she first began training under Sertologi.
I have set your broken wrist. Tomorrow, you're to train twice as hard. No tears this time. Good. Attempting to garner sympathy through tears is a habit of the weak. A pitiful, useless ploy.
Can I ask a question, Master? Why did you save me? I keep thinking, maybe it would be better if I had died. I wouldn't be haunted by that fire all the time. I wouldn't have to go on like this.
I saved you because I have a plan for you. It has been too long since I fought a battle that demanded my full strength, and I hunger for it. Every so-called genius and prodigy I have faced has crumbled like sand underfoot. Before me, even fate bends the knee. So, I will teach you everything I know. Train you by whatever means necessary, in the hope that one day, you might surprise me.
But I don't want to draw my sword against you, Master.
What you want matters little. Among the boundless sea of stars, The cries of the weak are but faint murmurs that disappear into the void. You of all people know that well.
Yes, Master.
From that day forward, all she knew was grueling training, emptiness, and fatigue. After some time, her talent bloomed, and she gained control over her emotions, like her master. How should I put it? It was not that human emotion disappeared from her heart, but that reason came to dictate all she was allowed to feel. I suppose it was at this point that she became the Skirk you know today. We're nearly there. I almost don't want to reach the end. Well, shall we? This is the final stretch. These are Skirk's happiest memories. What a simple and carefree time it was. Wisps of clouds dotted the sky. The sun bathed everything in golden light. And when song filled the air, not even the shyest of flowers could resist swaying along. This is Skirk's homeland. She was so curious about everything as a child. Always skipping school to go exploring instead. There was so much to discover. The treasures at the bottom of the sea. The secrets beyond the stars. And that merchant ship packed with adults wearing those strange clothes. Yes, the ship. That was the beginning of the end. It was a spaceship. When it arrived, the people that disembarked wore smiles on their faces and spoke of friendship. They claimed to be merchants from a neighboring planet, looking to establish trade. Skirk's parents, her relatives, her neighbors, everyone welcomed the newcomers with open arms and allowed them to explore the planet. To them, the visitors were guests and should be treated with hospitality. No one had any idea of what was to come. Several months later, an army of unknown origin arrived without warning and carried out a ruthless campaign to destroy everything and everyone on the planet. Skirk had skipped school that day, like so many times before, so she was not caught in the immediate wave of destruction. But when she came home that day, only fire and ruin awaited her. Countless people cried out to her for help. People she knew and loved. Friends and relatives. The little girl who lived next door. The shop owner with the bad leg. The bad-tempered teacher she had made fun of just that morning. Their lives were discarded like worthless trash, as the fire consumed one life after another. Skirk was helpless. All she could do was run. And so she did. She kept running, until an unexpected figure crossed her path. If Sertology hadn't been there in that moment, the fire would have claimed... Because she and her people were seen as a threat. As the initial merchant ship explored the planet, they discovered that it hadn't always had the condition to support life. Yet there was evidence of human activity, even during the periods of extreme heat or cold in the past. Further research revealed that, over time, the people of this planet had evolved the ability to adapt to any type of environment or energy source. For that reason, the outsiders viewed them as senseless, isn't it? Deemed a threat because of a gift they didn't even know they had. Perhaps it was their own innocence and kindness that doomed them. But in the end, that was lost to the blaze as well. If those with power get to decide good and evil, then all you can trust it. No one wants to relive their most painful moments. Well, that brings us to the end of the story. This is as far as we can go. Skirk is waiting over there. For both of us. Let's go to her. It's time to fulfill my purpose. And my greatest wish over all these years.
So all this, just so you could bring him here.
I have things to say to you. Well, to me. I want someone to witness our reconciliation, even if it takes an argument to get there. And he is the best choice in this moment. Her suppressed emotional self. The version of herself she keeps locked in the recesses of her mind, stifled by reason. All those rejected impulses, those discarded aspects of your past selves, they are a part of me now. I am who you used to be. Someone you have refused to face for too long. So, I came to face you instead.
You're wrong. I've faced you all along. And that's exactly why I keep you locked here. Your existence makes me weak. Moments of joy and longing are when we are most vulnerable. Don't forget, it was a penchant for goodness over reason that doomed our homeland in the first place. The vastness of the universe renders everything insignificant. Our feelings most of all.
Even so, learning from the mistakes of the past doesn't have to mean erasing everything. Strip yourself of your so-called weaknesses, emotions like kindness and empathy, and what makes you any different from the ruthless soldiers who slaughtered our people?
The difference is that I'm doing what is right. What is necessary. I allow you to exist, but with limited freedom. That is the greatest kindness I can offer. I have shouldered everything you couldn't carry. I rose above the numbness and emptiness, and it was cold, unfeeling reason that brought me this far. It made me who I am. It made me strong.
That is the problem. I want to shoulder those things together. On the grand scale of the entire universe, maybe our feelings are vanishingly small, but why should that mean they don't matter? Emotion gives warmth to the cold expanse of space. It gives meaning to the world around us. Think back to those nights of gazing at the stars, those afternoons of exploring the unknown. Think back and let them grant you peace. A brief respite from the pressure you put on yourself.
That isn't what we need.
It's exactly what we need. Aren't you curious about why recovering your strength has taken longer than normal this time?
Finally, you get to the important part. That is the only answer I came here to find.
Then look around. Look at your inner world. You cast aside your dreams and curiosity, and in doing so, you lost your original motivation. You severed all connection to who you used to be, so you can no longer draw strength from your past. Now, the only things driving you forward are fear and survivor's guilt. But these cannot take you far enough. And so, this river, the source of your strength, grows more polluted by the day.
And do you think that means I should seek help from a weak little thing like you?
Thank you for saying that. I knew bringing you here would be the right choice. To be honest, I'm not here to argue with you. This isn't about who's right or wrong. And in fact, I agree that in order to make it through the wake of that tragedy, we had to distance ourselves from the pain through reason over emotion. But what is right at one point in time isn't always right forever. I know you will never forget that fire. I know the fact that you were the sole survivor fills you with guilt. And I know that among the voices that haunt you, mine is there too. Because deep down, you know that you didn't turn out to be the person you wanted to be. All those unfulfilled hopes are like knives to the heart. And I don't want you to hurt anymore. So even if you can't accept me, I hope, at least, that you can let go.
I keep thinking, maybe it would be better if I had died. I wouldn't be haunted by that fire all the time. I wouldn't have to go on like this.
Your dad and I, we're not afraid to stare death in the face, but we need...
I'm sick of being a kid. There's so many amazing things out there, and I'm ready to see them all.
I remember. There was a song Mom and Dad always sang when we went out to fetch water. Dancing water. The sand along your path is begging for your song and movement. Will you carry this burden with you on your journey? I am not the dancing water, and you are not the burdensome sand. But if this is your wish, then I will carry you with me until the end.
Thank you.
I should be thanking you.
Run, Skirk, run! Remember, leave no one alive!
Save me.
did you become a positive light in this world?
Hey, this doesn't have to be the end. Life is a gift. Don't let darkness claim it.
So, you saw my memories then. I once asked my master if survival of the strongest was the law of the universe. He said no. But in a world without order, those with no moral boundaries tend to be the ones who survive. That's why, after hearing his answer, an idea came to mind. An idea that, one day, I would create a new world order. One in which there would never be another tragedy like that fire. One in which power was not the law of the land. But that means I must defeat him. Because my master, Sertologi, is, at the core, a defier of all rules and order. Yes, and not just because of the gap in our abilities. But also because I have no reason to see him as an enemy. Although his decision to train me was not made out of kindness, he did everything a master should. He saved my life, taught me the sword and the principles of strength. I know, and it's not something I want. But Master never goes back on his word. I have to treat everything he says as a promise. He's no longer into that. But he sends me messages through the abyss every now and then. Most of them are simple greetings, or an answer to one of my questions. Every time I hear from him, my heart skips a beat. And I wonder if this is the moment where he'll finally appear before me and tear down everything I've built to pieces. Maybe that means I do live in eternal fear, just like he said. Yes, I respect him, but I'm also afraid of him. And for that reason, the pursuit of strength consumes every moment of my life. I don't know what Master has planned, but I have to be ready. Help me? Why? This isn't your fight.
Awake! Honestly, Paimon was gone for like 2 seconds and then she comes back and finds you both unconscious? Oh, you scared Paimon half to death! You're both okay, right?
What does it look like? Only water from the source can cleanse the rot and filth that flows from the past into the future. I taught you to incorporate the experiences from your journey into how you fight. I suppose what happened today will become an inseparable part of who I am.
Okay, So, Paimon feels like she's missing some important context. But, whatever. Paimon brought back tons of delicious snacks! Let's dig in!
All right. It's about time we finished what we started.
We're gonna deal with this thief for good, right?
This time, I'm not going to tell you to hold back. But having digested even more power in the meantime, he's going to be tougher than before. The good news is, we have no reason to pull our punches this time. So, let's go. Same place as last time.
Wait, isn't that the form the all-devouring narwhal changed into? How come he knows that? Really? So, you're telling Paimon that giant whale and this guy can both turn into the fowl?
It's a subconscious instinct. Any intelligent being who longs for his level of strength is bound to mimic his appearance. It's a natural response after encountering someone as powerful as Master. To them, he represents ultimate power. We know the person before us has encountered Master, and we know he stole a portion of my power. So it's not surprising that he would assume this form.
Okay. Oh, the closer Paimon looks, the more intimidating it gets. Nervalette isn't here this time, so it's up to us. He won't have the nerve to steal again after we're done with him. Let's teach this guy a lesson.
Eternal, infinite, everlasting.
Wipe out! Go!
Haven't forgotten your training, I hope.
Go! Water jet!
Once more!
Bombs away!
This is getting interesting.
Water jet!
Beyond this world.
Water jet! Go!
Annihilate.
Water jet! Water jet! Go!
Haven't had enough of my power. Well then, let's see how much more of this power you can handle. Well, have you come to your senses?
You saw that my body was at its limit. So, you deliberately channeled your power into me, knowing that it would destroy my shell from within. Such power, such keen battle instincts. So you must be...
Skirk, Sertologi's disciple.
How long has it been? How long has he been away from Tevat?
Hundreds of years.
Hundreds? Sorry. It's a lot to take in. I should introduce myself. I am Skofnungar, a friend of your master and one of his followers. This is the first time I've heard your name, Skirk. But hundreds of years ago, I knew you existed. And I knew you would come here.
Hundreds of years ago?
Sounds like you and Master have quite the history. Care to tell us about it?
Of course. Might as well take advantage of a clear head while I can. The story starts a long, long time ago. I was born into a noble family in Conria. As the eldest son, I was set to inherit our title. But I contracted an incurable illness as a child, and everyone gave up on me. I trained the sword harder than anyone else,
defeated all of my peers. But it was all in vain. When other people looked at me, all I saw in their eyes was pity, or a strange glee in my misfortune. Even my parents were just waiting for me to die. Over time, my heart hardened, and I became aimless. That was the point where I met your master, Sir Telogi. We were similar in age, but different in background. He was born in prison, the son of criminals who had been sentenced to death. He spent his childhood wandering the streets, facing more criticism than the literary works in the Universitas Magistrorum. Yet, he always wore a smile on his face, as if kindness and malice were one and the same, and he could not see the difference. I still remember what he said to me when we first met. You need to fight to survive. Even if it's a losing battle, it should light a fire under you. How can you sit back like this and go down without a fight?
That does sound like something he would say.
He was the first to acknowledge that I was worth something, and he inspired me to keep going. When we sparred together, it was the first time I'd actually felt the thrill of combat. When I was 10, he stole forbidden research materials and managed to cure my illness. It was like there was nothing in this world he couldn't accomplish. When it came to the human form, he was always intent on pushing the boundaries of possibility. But somewhere along the way, I fell behind. My talents were nothing compared to his, and at some point, I realized he had pulled so far ahead, I was too embarrassed to even ask him to spar. After his grand endeavor was successful, he sought me out and said to me,
"This planet no longer holds anything of interest to me, so I'm leaving. But first, I have an offer. I can use a power I have just refined to break the curse of immortality for you. Your death was once what we worked so hard to prevent. But the immortality you now face is a different kind of pain altogether."
I'll pass. Immortality doesn't sound so bad to me. Since I can't die, it means I have an infinite amount of time to get stronger. Maybe I'll finally catch up to you one day, and we can spar like we used to.
Are you sure? I cannot say when I will return. Your body, or rather, your soul, might not be able to withstand this curse.
All I can do is try. After all...
Wise indeed. Nevertheless, if you grow weary of the pain of immortality, and wish to experience a good sparring match before you wither away, seek out my disciple.
Disciple? Never thought I'd hear that word coming from you.
Nor I. But Vedifenir said I was destined to find a disciple out there in the universe, and bring her to Tibet. You know as well as I, Vedifenir's prophecies are never wrong.
Well, now I'm curious about who this disciple of yours will be.
All Vedifenir said was that one day, the stars shall bow in her honor.
Sounds pretty impressive.
Of course. Only the most outstanding people would have the right to become my disciple.
Still self-assured as ever, I see. But you're not wrong.
I'll be leading them. Oh, and if you are serious about getting stronger, I left you a little gift in the primordial sea. As I've said before, walk whatever path you want. Freedom means even the wicked get to make their own choices.
Waiting for me in the primordial sea was the all-devouring narwhal, already beaten into submission by Sertologi. In its weakened state, I was able to cut off part of its flesh and sew it into my own heart.
Your heart? That sounds like torture! How did you even survive that?
Because, of course, I bear the curse of immortality.
So, you used the curse to turn yourself into a vessel for power. Even with that whale's ability, devouring power like that is not something the human body can withstand. With your body and soul constantly at the breaking point, it was the curse of immortality that sustained you. But that is not the path to strength. You have to pour your heart into it, work for it, dream of it. Instead, you stole something that didn't belong to you, and it backfired.
You're right. I should have known better, but I had already pushed myself to my limits, and he was still miles ahead of me. So I had to take a leap of faith. I miss your master. I miss the days when we were all together, troublemakers without a home. I don't regret the choice I made. But if you'll allow it, I do want to apologize. To both of you.
After the beating we just gave you, I think we can call it even.
You're an interesting one as well. Sertologi's disciple. That's a lot to live up to. It can't have been an easy experience. I know what he's like. He rules with an iron fist, using despair and fear to force you to catch up to him, all the while standing ever out of reach. We're like mountain climbers in the dark, never knowing how much higher we have to climb, or when we will see the sun again.
True. But I made up my mind long ago. No matter how dark it gets, I will not give in to despair. I will overcome it. Besides, after hearing your story, I suspect what Master really wants is not a battle that demands his full strength, but rather a defeat without regrets.
Oh?
Since you're his friend, you must have some things in common. First time we came here, when you stabbed me through the fog and stole my power, I felt no emotion coming from that spike. But when you had to devote all your strength fighting me just now, I could feel joy and passion emanating from your blade. It was the joy of a researcher discovering the truth of the world. The joy of an artist uncovering a temple of wonders.
Interesting. I'm certain I didn't express those emotions outright. Yet you were able to read them from my blade, like a glimpse into my inner world. You're right. That battle brought me an unbridled sense of joy, and my defeat brings me no regret whatsoever.
Exactly. I think Master also craves a battle like that. One where his opponent forces him to use all his strength, unlock the extent of his potential, and transcend his own limits. A battle to end all battles. After which, all can come to an end, including, perhaps, his life. For that very reason, good and evil are meaningless to him. He has one purpose, one goal: to complete himself. It's one of the secrets to his strength.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps that is his goal. What a battle that would be. Oh, to witness such a...
Are you okay?
Too many different kinds of power are surging through my body. The curse of immortality allows it all to coexist, but it does not remove the pain. I won't be able to hold on to my sanity for much longer. What a shame. I would have loved to witness that battle. Sertologi once offered to free me from this curse. Now, I must ask that of you, Skirk. Can you release me from the pain?
I can, but not through death, if that's what you are hoping for. It's not a suitable punishment for your crime. As an alternative, I can take your consciousness, along with all the power you've consumed, and smash it to pieces. The impurities will dissipate, and under the curse of immortality, your mind and body will regenerate. When that process is complete, you will be back to who you were before, no longer tortured by powers you can't control. But it will be a time-consuming and painful process. The decision is yours to make.
I accept. And who knows? Perhaps I'll wake up in time to witness your great battle with Sertologi. I have faith that you'll be able to stand against him one day. Though, I know it'll be a long and arduous road. If we are climbers in the dark, it appears the dawn has finally broken for me. But your ascent continues. At least, it looks like you are not alone on your journey.
I will reach the top of this mountain, no matter what it takes. And you, Skofnungr, will be my witness at the end of all things.
That's finally over. Let's get out of here. Huh. At least we don't have to make a mad dash for the exit like last time. It's only been a few days, but it feels like forever. Once again, we've proved there's nothing we can't overcome. We're just that awesome. Wow. You sound even more confident than usual. Guess you really have become stronger. Today sure went by fast. It's night already. Oh wait, that reminds Paimon. The stars you mentioned, the ones that died out, are they back now?
Yes. The power Skofnungr stole has been returned. So, the stars have regained their light.
Great! Huh. It's crazy that you even noticed their light was gone. There are so many stars in the sky. If a few disappeared, Paimon definitely wouldn't be able to tell.
I suppose it's because I have gazed upon this sky for centuries. The false stars, hanging in the meticulously planned sky, glittering with rotten light. It's not real. And yet, it is for that very reason that I can look upon it and enjoy the momentary peace it brings. Even the most beautiful of bubbles has to burst. We will return to the real universe one day, whether of our own volition or not. Time marches ever forward. Even the innocent and naive will taste life's bitterness. Yet through hardship, we grow, until we learn to seize the sands of time for ourselves and uncover our true strength. Though we gaze upon a false sky, Its vastness and majesty is palpable. One can only wonder, what is it going to take for kindness to reign supreme in the vast expanse of the universe?
Ugh, this is all going over Paimon's head. But if she knows one thing, it's that the Traveler always finds a way. Ever since we met, he has filled Paimon's days with happiness. No matter how tough things get, he always finds a way to make it better. If it's too big a job for one person, then we'll do it with two. And if two's still not enough, then three. We've met so many amazing friends, and accomplished so many amazing things. As long as we don't give up, we can make any wish come true.
I suppose when it comes to you, anything is possible. Well, I should be going. Now that my power is no longer isolated from my emotions, I need more practice to get used to it. I suppose fate will decide. Maybe we'll bump into each other on the street. Or maybe we'll reunite on a different planet entirely. More than anything, I hope that, at the end of this journey, wherever it takes us, we stand in a world reborn. One without war, pain, or forced partings. One where new life can bloom, even where there was once nothing but scorched earth. For this, we must all work to become stronger. If that's what you want to call me, I won't object. Goodbye.
Bye! Is it just Paimon, or is she being nicer than before? We definitely count as friends after all that, don't you think? Hey, what do you think about camping here tonight? There's nothing quite like sleeping under the stars. Come tomorrow, we can continue our journey. Oh, and since Paimon treated you to that super nice meal at Wanmin Restaurant, it's about time you returned the favor. We're here to book our next therapy appointment.
It hurts.
Oh no, what's wrong with them?
They've been like this ever since they woke up.
Ooh, it's an extreme case of indigestion.
Huh? How come? Oh, did they eat too many nightmares last night?
I doubt it. We only had 4 customers yesterday, including you two.
Paimon blames the other 2.
You're right. Something's definitely wrong with their nightmares. Our ability to digest dreams isn't just a matter of quantity. It depends on the emotional intensity, too. Point being, no normal person should ever have a nightmare of this magnitude. Oh, this situation is dire. If I can't find a way to help them digest their dreams soon...
What can we do? Let us help!
We need to find those 2 customers from yesterday and figure out the cause of their bad dreams. Without knowing that, I have no way of treating them. Traveler, Paimon, I know you spoke to them both. Think you can track them down?
Let's see. They did say they were gonna get counseling from Amora Ichigensai again. Chances are that's where we'll find them.
Lead the way. I'm coming with you.
You know, I went out to sea earlier today, but was so distracted that I lost my net. Oh well, it's not a big deal though.
Yeah, I messed up today too. But hey, what's the big deal? A few bandits got away, it's not the end of the world.
Hey, you 2! Murasaki and Shion are sick, and it's all because of your bad dreams!
Whoa, someone's in a bad mood, huh? So funny.
I know, right?
What's wrong?
They're acting so weird. Paimon was pretty aggressive just now, but they don't seem offended at all.
Allow me. Gentlemen, do you still remember visiting Isa Bathhouse last night for dream regulation therapy?
Did we?
I don't think so.
Huh. Do you recall having any bad dreams recently?
No, why would I? What in this world could be so bad that it'd give me nightmares?
Nope, nothing comes to mind. Bad dreams must be highly irregular, surely. You don't have to look far to see that life is beautiful.
What is going on? It's like they've completely forgotten what they did last night. Although Paimon can believe what they're saying, they don't exactly seem troubled by nightmares. Does that mean Amora Ichigensai's counseling actually works?
No, they're clearly not in their right minds. Traveler, Paimon, focus hard for a second. I'm gonna try something a little unorthodox.
Whoa! What did you do?
Entered their subconscious minds. I noticed they've both become disassociated from their subconscious, meaning I can access it, similarly to how I enter people's dreams.
No. No! Those thugs! I won't let them get away with this! I won't!
The sea is too rough today. I should stay on dry land till things calm down.
Huh?
As you can see, their troubles haven't gone anywhere. Susukida seems to have a short fuse, which causes him to act out of line. I'm sure this has caused him a lot of grief in his line of work. As for Umiko, I believe he developed a fear of stormy waves after a near-death experience. Now he's reluctant to sail out to sea at all, which is having a devastating impact on his livelihood. Their negative emotions have been isolated from their conscious minds and left to float around in their subconscious. That's why on the outside, the only emotion they appear to feel is happiness. But those suppressed emotions will only continue to fester in their subconscious, eventually turning into the nightmares that have been giving Murasaki and Shion indigestion. If it's Emura Ichigensai's doing, I guess he's not the straightforward con man we thought he was. Maybe he really does have ways of influencing human emotions. That would explain why no one has blown the whistle on him yet. Did you notice anything strange when you came here yesterday?
Not really. They were a lot more serious than today. You sure kept that one quiet.
Oh, no. Look.
Sit.
Something inhuman is at work in Emura Ichigensai. The Traveler's Dream confirms that. He has victimized everyone who has received his so-called counseling. If we don't find and stop him as soon as possible, his victims may well suffer irreversible damage to their psyches.
Yikes! Well, guess we better press these guys a little harder. Do you know when Emura Ichigensai will be here next?
What's with the urgency? Why does it matter when he shows up?
Yeah, he'll turn up when he's ready. No point in trying to rush him.
Ugh, this is infuriating.
You do remember what happened last night, both of you. Only you don't want to talk about it, because you can't reconcile the presence of a nightmare with the happiness you presently feel. Just thinking about it brings up an overwhelming sense of being torn apart. You can't quite put it into words, but you fear you're a hair's breadth away from a total breakdown. Is that about right?
Please, stop. Everything will be fine as long as we don't think about it.
Emura Ichigensai's treatment has clearly left you wounded and vulnerable. But don't worry, I'm not here to snap you out of your denial. At least, as long as you answer our question.
All right. But seriously, we really have no idea. We've asked already, and all we know is that he's not coming today.
Yeah, apparently, yesterday's session kind of tired him out.
Is he trying to hide from me again?
They really don't know anything? Darn! Looks like we've hit a dead end.
I don't suppose you know where he lives, do you?
No. We did ask yesterday, but even his guard didn't know.
In that case... Yes, I suppose. Now that I know what's causing their bad dreams, I can administer the correct treatment. Honestly, you've already done your part by bringing me here. I can't keep troubling you.
Don't forget, we want to book our next therapy session. The sooner you stop having to worry about Emura Ichigensai, the sooner we get you all to ourselves. So we're not gonna quit until all this is resolved, and the bathhouse is back to business as usual.
Looks like I have no choice but to accept your help again. I have to make sure Murasaki and Shion get the treatment they need. Still, I'm gonna need your full cooperation. If you do find Emura Ichigensai, please do not approach him. Just send me a message and keep an eye on him until I arrive. The last thing I want is for you to put yourself in harm's way.
Don't worry about that. You should see some of the other bad guys we've taken down in our time. This guy's small potatoes compared to them.
Paimon.
Alright, sure. We'll keep our distance and send the message.
Very good. Let's get going then.
Pretty bold claim saying you'll track this guy down. It's nice of you to give Mizuki one less thing to worry about and all, but what the heck do we do now? What if we can't find him? 'Cause, in case you hadn't noticed, these guys are hopeless. They don't know anything. Oh, wait, you're right! She was the one who tipped us off about this place yesterday! She probably knows way more than she let on. There's no time to lose! To the Grand Narukami Shrine! She's usually somewhere around here.
Here for a fortune slip, little ones? Or visiting a friend?
Whoa! Where did you come from?
That was a little lukewarm. You're starting to sound a lot like her. But pleasantries aside, what's the matter? You look rather out. You may remember I dropped a not-so-subtle hint as to his whereabouts yesterday. You mean to tell me you still haven't found him?
Aha! So you did bring him up on purpose!
Let's not lose focus here. You're here to ask for my help. So would you mind explaining the situation to me?
Yeah, fair enough. We went to the place you mentioned, but he slipped through our fingers. Next thing we heard was he's not seeing patients there anymore. Apparently, he loves his peace and solitude. So obviously, we've got no idea where to find him now.
Oh, and after the lengths I went to get you that location.
Don't know if this helps, but we did learn some other stuff about him yesterday. For example, a guy matching Amura Ichigensai's description came to Mizuki for therapy once. Only his name was Amura Chuya.
Wait, what? Amura Chuya?
You know him?
I once asked the Yae Publishing House to host an event for contributors to the Reader's Letters column. I had hoped it might be a fun chance to meet some like-minded people and chat. Until he showed up. Are you telling me that Emura the Hellraiser and Emura the Healer are the same person?
Based on everything we've learned so far, it certainly looks that way.
All right, well, in that case, give this address a try.
Really? Who chooses to live in a place like that?
This was the delivery address he gave to the Yae Publishing House once, when he placed an order for several dozen books in one go. He also requested to pay on receipt. The warehouse took one look and assumed it must be some kind of prank, so they rejected the order, earning them an honorable mention in his complaint letter. Of course, with the benefit of hindsight, it's rather obvious why he lives there. Someone as antisocial as him wouldn't be welcome anywhere else.
You've got a point. Well, we clearly made the right decision coming to talk to you.
I'm just glad I could help my old friend.
You mean Mizuki? So you really do want to help her?
I can tell that she's invested an awful lot into the Isa bathhouse. It's only natural for me to show some concern when I see a friend's business in trouble.
Really? 'Cause yesterday it looked more like you were looking for a fight.
I assume Mizuki has told you that we're competitors? She has always believed that, ever since we were classmates. And now that I'm the Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine, I'm sure she must feel the need to prove herself through her endeavors at the Isa bathhouse. The last thing she'd want is for me, of all people, to swoop in and save the day the moment the going gets tough. So if I want to help, I have to be mindful of her feelings and tread delicately. I'll take that as a compliment. Mizuki's always so considerate towards others. It would be nice for someone to reciprocate once in a while. Well done, you took the hint. Now, while I'm sure you'd love to chat longer, you seemed to be in a great hurry when you arrived. Shouldn't you be on your way?
Oh, right. Come on, let's send a message to Mizuki right away. This should be the place Miko mentioned, right?
Traveler, Paimon.
Mizuki! That was quick.
All thanks to you two. With what I learned from those two guys, I managed to give Murasaki and Shion effective treatment as soon as I got back. That meant I was free to head out again as soon as I received your message. So, this is where Emura Ichigensai lives.
Sure hope so, 'cause this is our only lead.
Then that confirms it. We've come to the right place. Now we may face great danger once we're inside. So from here on out, stay close to me and stay focused. I don't want either of you getting hurt.
We'll be fine. You just focus on what you need to do.
All right, fine. I suppose you're used to leading the charge.
Santo Domingo era así mismo.
Whoa. This is not, this is creepy. Feels like there are loads of eyes staring at us.
Calm, yet repressed. The signs are all there.
What is it, Mizuki? Figured something out?
Nothing new. Just further confirmation of my suspicions. Emura Ichigensai should be hiding deep inside this place. Stay close to me.
up an ambush?
Seems like we're not welcome here.
Stabilize.
Light it up!
Settle down.
Illusion shattered!
Crumble. I will have order.
There is no escape! Time to relax.
Miss Yume Mizuki, you found me at last. Ah, and I see you've brought some friends with you. Please, forgive my lack of hospitality.
Emira Chuya.
Mizuki was right after all. Paimon wasn't expecting him to be so polite, though.
Please, do not call me by that name anymore. The old me was plagued by negative emotions. But I have parted ways with them now. That period of my life is consigned to the past, and the name along with it.
You have to listen to me. There is no way to get rid of all your negative emotions. This life you're living now is a lie.
Your perspective is most amusing.
What's so funny? Don't you know you're harming people?
Harming people? That's what you believe? Very well. I understand and accept your perspective, even if you cannot afford me the same courtesy in return.
What is up with him? He's being so calm and polite. So why does everything he says make Paimon want to punch him?
As you can see, Miss Yume Mizuki, all my psychological problems have been completely resolved. I must thank you for your attempts to diagnose my condition, but I see now that the truth is far simpler than you were proposing. All my misery was merely a consequence of human frailty. I could not hope to remove my emotional impurities on my own strength. I lived in fear and anger. Fear that I was not worthy of other people's attention. Anger at how they invalidated me. I became a slave to my emotions. They turned me into a wretched and loathsome creature. Hostile to everyone. But things are different now. I've acquired the ability to eradicate those emotions for good. No longer will I be afraid. Never again will I be stirred to anger. No, I am filled now with only one emotion, and that is happiness. I have become humanity perfected.
What I'm hearing is that you've developed your own unique understanding of psychological issues. So how about you play therapist this time? I have a couple of cases I'd love to hear your thoughts on.
I would be delighted.
The first is a soldier with poor control of his temper. He flies off the handle too easily, and it gets him into all sorts of trouble. This is having a significant impact on his daily life, and he's developed symptoms of depression as a result.
He simply needs to let go of his anger. Then he will surely find peace and happiness.
The second is a fisherman who's developed thalassophobia. Now he is unable to provide for his family, which is causing him immense anxiety.
Oh, of course. He must cast his fear far away.
I'm sorry, but you're wrong on both counts.
Oh?
The soldier's anger is rooted in his strongly held principles. Yes, his rage can make him reckless, but it also fuels his deep desire to stand against injustice. Losing his anger made him passive and apathetic. He now stands by and does nothing as bandits attack innocent people. The fisherman's fear made him one of the most reliable sailors around. Thanks to his cautiousness and diligence, accidents were a rare occurrence among his crew, despite the dangers of their profession. But after forgetting his fear, he destroyed the fruits of the entire crew's labor on his first return to the sea. Fascinating, isn't it? Anger gives people the courage to stand up for what they believe in, and fear nurtures care and attention. Emotions are integral to human dreams, and after many years of dealing with their dreams, the Yumeko Ibaku have learned an important secret about human emotions. Negative emotions do not just go away. They will always be there. This is true for everyone. Not only that, but their presence is essential. You can't have a healthy human psyche without negative emotion. So do you have any idea what you've done to those poor men?
What an amusing theory. In fact, I do remember those two. But I'm afraid that the only emotion I sense in them now is happiness. How can you believe that negative emotions are required for a healthy psyche? It's a laughable theory. Don't you remember how I was when we first met? You call that healthy?
Acknowledging that negative emotions exist doesn't mean giving them free rein over our minds and lives. Humans have a whole gamut of emotions. They're supposed to keep each other in balance. But if that balance gets disrupted, emotions start working against each other. Untethered rage cripples the capacity to be careful and considerate. Uncontained fear drives people to abandon beliefs they once held dear. The person you were when you first came to my practice only proves this further. You were dominated by your emotions. Under their influence, you deliberately inflicted pain on other people. Meanwhile, the person you are now is so lost that you aren't even aware of the pain you're bringing to others. This diagnosis is going to sound harsh, but I'm afraid it's accurate. You've simply gone from one extreme to another. You say you've reached perfection, but you're just as dysfunctional now as where you started.
Phew. How entertaining. Still, there's no need for me to argue back. You have failed to provoke me. I will forgive you for this offense, because I know my present perfection to be a fact. I have direct and incontrovertible evidence. You once told me that nightmares are the result of a buildup of negative emotions. But ever since I acquired my present abilities, I never had another nightmare again. Clearly, that proves that all of my negative emotions have been definitively eradicated.
I'm afraid not. Look where we are right now. We're inside your nightmare.
What?
No wonder! Paimon knew something was up the moment we arrived!
The enemies that we encountered were manifestations of his negative emotions. That can only happen in a nightmare.
No, that can't be.
That entity claimed it could remove your negative emotions. But all it did was separate them and store them deep in your subconscious, beyond your reach. There they were left to fester. Your situation is far worse than that of the other victims. It has deceived you at a much deeper level. You can't even perceive that at this very moment, you're in the middle of a nightmare.
How laughable. Fear? No. There is no fear left in me. This is all just a terrible joke. This is no dream. No.
Something's appeared behind him.
So, my arch-nemesis has seen through my trickery. Clearly, you came prepared. The emotional cocoon I'd wrapped him in was all but impenetrable. Yet still, you managed to tear it down.
So it is you. Just as I thought.
What is that?
A nightmare monster. A fearsome yokai that was once the bane of Inazuma. We Yumekui Baku eat the nightmares of humans, while they called those nightmares their home. So we were natural enemies. When I heard the Traveler recount that strange dream, I knew that this was a possibility. But it's still a shock to see one of our long-lost arch-enemies in the flesh. They were supposed to have gone extinct long ago.
Then allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Kurayume, and I am the last of my kind.
Kurayume. That's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time. How have you survived all these years?
Likewise. Yume Mizuki is a name that takes me back to a different age. Although I must say, we may be born enemies, but I have never felt any great animosity toward you personally. Ultimately, the fall of the nightmare monsters was the fault of our hosts. Humans are such fragile creatures. But now, I have found a way to revive my kind, and you are too late to stop me.
Oh no! We've got to catch up to him! If you ever feel down, just drop everything and go out for some fresh air.
What's happening? Paimon's feeling dizzy all of a sudden.
That's the feeling of rejection. It's so strong. Quick! After him!
There he is! Right there! Whoa! What happened to all the paths?
He's repressing his emotions even harder. Sweet dreams! Time to relax. Turn that frown upside down.
There! He's got nowhere left to run! Whoa! What's happening to the ground?
Watch out! I used my powers to cushion our fall. Is everyone all right?
Don't worry, we've fallen from bigger heights before. The bigger issue here is that he got away and we were so close! Ugh.
We've been completely cut off. That creature has taken complete control of his consciousness. We'll never catch him.
Would it be easier if we wake up now and go catch him in the real world? If this is his nightmare, he must be asleep somewhere, right?
Remember the fragrance we smelled on our way in? That's how the monster lures people into the dream state. Now we're inside. We can't get out unless we manage to defeat him in his true form. He's turned Emarachuya's nightmare into his lair. There's only one way to force him into the open, and that's by finding a way to eat this nightmare.
Eat this nightmare? But is that even possible?
Not only is it possible, Paimon, it's quite literally my job.
Oh, Paimon knows that. It's just... We all saw what happened to Murasaki and Shion, and this nightmare is super intense. Paimon's worried this won't turn out well.
This monster has harmed too many people. We have to stop it. It's okay. I knew what I was getting into. Let's get moving. We may not have caught him, but our chase wasn't in vain. He led us deep inside his dream. We should now be at the subconscious layer that makes up its core.
It's so dark.
That's what happens if you leave your negative emotions to fester. There must be a lot of emotional fragments in this place. We need to follow them one by one until we reach our destination.
Wait, but what is our destination?
Where the light is.
If I say it's your fault, it's your fault! Do you understand me? You shouldn't go running around with that stupid thing in your hand! Do you want to go hungry tonight?
Ugh. The atmosphere here is so... oppressive. Is it anger or fear?
Be careful. Every time we draw near to one of these fragments, we'll experience the underlying emotion on a visceral level.
You, a writer? Didn't they reject you already? Get rid of this trash! Go find a real job!
Aw, poor guy. Paimon feels so bad for him.
We shouldn't stay here. Let's keep moving.
Ha ha! I won! Another round? That guy? He never joins in with anything. Why should we go out of our way to invite him? Let's keep playing. Ignore him.
Wow, that's so sad.
Nope. Not here either.
Hmm? Look! There's the light! What is this place?
It's his sorrow. Yes, sheer overwhelming sorrow. Human emotions exist in a delicate balance. When that balance is lost, negative emotions spiral out of control and go on to fuel nightmares. By isolating these negative emotions and allowing them to fester, that monster has completely destroyed his emotional balance. That's why he was able to create such a powerful nightmare. If we want to restore balance, we have to dispose of the excess negative emotion.
Oh, so that's what you mean when you talk about eating nightmares.
Well done, Paimon. Very clever.
Aw. Alright, what's the next step?
I need to find a way to separate the negative emotions out. For that, I need a special medium. Sorrow might just do the job. As long as it's kept in check, it can calm the waves of emotions and help him regain some measure of control.
Let it out, Chuya. Let the tears flow. You'll feel better after a good cry.
This process will untangle his unbridled fear and anger, his unresolved resentment, and his unshakable despair. These excess emotions will be separated out from the rest. They are the source of this nightmare.
Ugh! Mizuki!
It's all right. It's an unpleasant flavor, but I've tasted it thousands of times. A good cry can work wonders. Even though he seems beyond helping, I think he should be able to take another step out from the swamp of despair now.
Are you ready to come out now, Chuya? I'll be waiting for you right here, son. I'd love to listen to more of your stories whenever you're ready.
All right. There goes that nightmare. Hopefully this marks the beginning of a sweeter dream.
Amazing! Suddenly, Paimon feels so relaxed and maybe even happy?
I thought I had found the perfect host, but you found the one weakness in his emotional armor.
Ah! He's back again!
Freeing a single host from my clutches changes nothing! You cannot stop me! I told you you are too late!
What is this place?
I can't believe it. He's brought us to the Borderland.
Borderland?
To put it simply, it's a dream within a dream. A space hidden deep within the collective Inazuman subconscious. A dream that can exist even without a host. This must be how that monster managed to survive the extinction of his kind. He hid here.
Mizuki, that eye.
He's trying to turn this place into a nightmare so he'll be more at home. And he's creating copies of himself. This place is connected to the dreams of every human in the nation. From here, he can place a copy of himself in every dream. If he succeeds, then he'll have effectively revived his kind already.
Then we know what we need to do. We gotta take this guy down. Do we think a sword will do the job?
Maybe, if we can get close enough to reach his core. But he's brought the nightmares of all his victims here, and that gives him an immense amount of power. Dealing with this many in one go is going to take a different approach. We need a power to rival his nightmares. The power of sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams? Where are we gonna find those?
Lost minds. There should be some around here, and some of them will have come from sweet dreams originally. Come on, follow me. Careful. We've got to move quietly. The nightmare monster has usurped control here. We need to stay out of his sight.
Time to relax. Rise with the sun!
Bow your head. Settle down. This is order. Bow your head.
Shine down!
Turn that frown upside down. Chasing Tanuki through the woods, and climbing trees to hunt for Oni Kabuto. Thank you for lending us your happiness.
Sweet dreams!
that frown upside down. Time to relax. Watching fireworks fly up into the sky and writing wishes on a prayer plaque. Thank you for sharing your passion. All right, we've gathered enough power to proceed. Time to face him head on. The core should be just up ahead. This will be a tough fight.
Why? Are these sweet dreams not sweet enough?
I just wish we could have gathered some more. But these are all we could find in the immediate vicinity. Which means we're running out of time. Our chances of success are shrinking by the minute. We have to act now.
No problem. We're ready to go.
Sweet dreams! Turn that frown upside down.
The alacrity with which you walk into my trap surprises me. Do you not realize why I lured you here? Because this is my domain, the world where I rule.
Not yet, it isn't. Now, use the power of the good dreams.
I think you will find it to be quite ineffective against the power of my nightmares.
There is no escape!
Sweet dreams!
I must confess, I am somewhat confused. Both of us bring happiness to humans now. Why must you still treat me as your enemy?
Because the happiness you provide is a lie. All you do is make them forget their negative emotions exist. And now they're living under the illusion that they're gone for good. All the while, these repressed feelings continue to fester in their subconscious, eventually becoming nightmares intense enough to become your home. Your kind has always thrived by magnifying your host's negative emotions for your own gain. What you're doing now is no different from what you've always done.
I am correct. This time, I shall change the fate of my entire kind. When a human becomes dominated by their negative emotions, when they lose their ability to survive, that is how my king died out. But I can give them a fantasy instead, turning them into the perfect hosts, capable of surviving no matter how dire the situation in their subconscious gets. This is the path to a revival. My kin shall rise again!
You do realize what that means, don't you? You've gone from one extreme to the other.
Oh, I'm perfectly
¿Para
aware.
qué quiere pelear ahí?
There's nothing you can say that I do not already know. For over all the years that your kind has been learning about the human mind.
Oh, solo a eso ver. Tiene que vigilarla.
But I'm afraid I could not care less for the moral burdens that you impose upon yourselves. The health of the human psyche is of precisely zero interest to me. Now here's a question well worth thinking about. If we allowed the humans themselves to decide, which of us would they really choose? You or me? Do you see now? I won this battle long before you ever set foot inside this tree.
What's going on?
He's growing stronger, but we've exhausted the power of the sweet dreams already. Even if we could find more sweet dreams now, it still wouldn't be enough.
If you accept that negative emotions are an immutable presence in the human mind, then you must also know that such emotions include apathy and sloth. Without the Yumeki Baku, there to hold their hand and walk them through dream regulation therapy, do you honestly think that anyone would ever be inclined to embrace the negative emotions? No, they would sooner run from reality to forget all about their troubles and live inside an illusion.
But the whole reason I wanted to become a psychologist. Traveler. These feelings. So that's how they should taste. Longing. Caused by separation. So bitter. And yet the experience led to a whole new journey for you. If you keep pressing on, maybe even more precious memories await. Despair. Caused by failure. Icy cold. And yet in conquering this despair, you gained the courage to face the lightning. Regret. Caused by missed opportunity. A harsh aftertaste. And yet it's only through that loss that we can learn to appreciate everything we have. And after all these flavors comes sweetness, passion, and refreshed hope. So that's why I was able to taste a sweet dream at our first meeting. Long before you ever met me. You'd already gained the courage to never avoid or run away from your feelings. And all your nightmares had become the fuel for sweeter dreams. The power that you have gained by processing everything from your long journey is surely far stronger than any power wielded by that creature. The whole reason I wanted to become a psychologist was to try and help people become someone like you.
It's you!
Your dream is so powerful!
Traveler, give him all you've got!
Bellowing thunder!
Lightning flash!
Take this!
Impossible! With just one person's dream? I have been planning this for so long!
Once the false dream he created has been destroyed, I can make sure all his victims make a full recovery. I don't think I ever would have been able to do this without your help.
Don't mention it.
You shall join my ancestors in death! You and my failure of a host!
What? He's still not dead? Wait, does anyone else hear water? Where is that coming from?
Maybe he made his host build some kind of device in the underwater cave. Once he realized we were onto him, he decided to sacrifice his host.
So you mean we're in danger in the real world too?
We've got to wake up.
But how? Like, pinch ourselves?
This should be high enough. Traveler, Paimon, jump.
Huh?
If you're afraid, then just take my hand and close your eyes. Yes, just... Hold on tight. The Yomeku Ibaku are getting to work. It's finally over. It's a good thing I had the foresight to ask them for help, or I'd be the one dying from indigestion tonight. They were very delicious. Traveler, could I pick your brain with another question? What do you... If only that were true. Most people struggle to deal with their negative emotions. They bottle them up inside until they've festered and turned into nightmares. As a result, humans have far more bad dreams than good ones, and most happy dreams are short and fleeting. They are so rare that it's basically impossible for them to be shared with others. Heck, there are even people out there who only have the mind space to have happy dreams after they've given us their bad ones. Which is all to say that the dreams we get to taste are usually bad ones. No matter how hard we try, we can't seem to change this state of affairs. I once believed the only reason we Yumeko Baku existed was to serve as a disposal method for nightmares. It's a fate that we cannot escape, no matter how many dreams we eat or how many years pass by. Even though I call myself a clinical psychologist, I also have dark thoughts sometimes. I suppose that's the only problem I have. Still, after learning the principles of psychology, I came up with a new way to look at all of this. If we can use psychotherapy to help people come to terms with their emotions, they'll gain the ability to deal with their nightmares on their own, so they'll no longer need to call upon us for assistance. That way, more and more people can free up their minds for truly happy dreams, until there'll be enough to share around. A naive one, more like. Even though I've run this business for quite a long time now, it still hasn't come true. Not even once. So I must thank you, because after meeting you, I finally became sure that my wish is achievable. And knowing that is all the treatment I need against the dark thoughts I sometimes have.
There you are! Paimon's been looking everywhere for you, too! Paimon was just watching the Baku eat the nightmares. They got really full and started rolling around on their tummies. It was so cute. Anyway, that's why Paimon fell behind. Got a little distracted watching them. Oh, and speaking of Baku, we were gonna book another appointment with you, weren't we? Remember? Before we got caught up in all those nightmare shenanigans?
It's a little late for that now. Ask me again tomorrow.
Oh.
Still, the night is young. Wanna stay here and watch the moon with me for a little longer?
Huh?
The moon...
Excuse me! Hello! Please come register over here!
What's going on? Why are there so many guests? Had I known, I'd have definitely turned some of them back.
Oh, it looks like business is booming with Amura Ichigensai out of the picture. And it's good to see that Murasaki and Shion are well on the road to recovery.
Morning, you two. Want to make an appointment?
Yes, please! For today, if possible.
Then I better get you another VIP pass. You're our most important customers, after all.
Awesome! In that case, very important Paimon would like to start with the fine dining this time.
Oh my. Imagine if you'd taken my advice and sold your shares the other day. It could have cost you dearly now that business is booming again. I hope you're not too upset with me, old friend.
Why would I be upset? It's not as if I ever took your suggestion seriously.
Oh, I've missed that way with words. So affectionate.
Would it kill you to not sneak up on people every darn time?
Morning, little ones. Did you enjoy the scenery last night? Hardly. That tree was directly beneath the Grand Narukami Shrine. What was I supposed to do? Move the entire shrine to give you some privacy?
Is there a reason you're here, Lady Guji?
Mostly because I felt like a walk. But I do have a message from the Tenryo Commission to pass on as it happens. The gentleman who your fellow Yumeku Ibaku fished out of the water last night is no longer in a critical condition, although his mind seems to have regressed to that of a young child.
It could have been worse, I suppose. Lady Guji, I owe you my thanks. Without your help, things might have gone a lot less smoothly yesterday. Come on, Miko. You've always been worse than me at keeping secrets. I admit that I feel inferior around you, and have an urge to prove myself. How could I not? But maybe these feelings are what have driven me to take this business as far as I have. My sense of inferiority keeps my ego in check, and my desire to prove myself gives me the strength to persevere. I'm able to accept these parts of me for what they are. There's no need for you to tiptoe around them.
Oh, you could have told me sooner. The poor traveler here has been doing all my running around for me.
True. But then again, without the traveler's help, you'd have been placed in a difficult position. Emira Ichigensai had amassed a huge following. For the Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine to publicly go against him would have been a dangerous move. An angry mob of zealots could have done some serious damage to the shrine's reputation. Much safer for the Guji not to get personally involved. It was the right decision.
While that's all true, my main concern was that I didn't want to upset an old friend. Otherwise, I could have taken a much more direct approach.
Miko.
I always seem to forget that you're more cunning and less adorable than you look. Seems like my worries about upsetting you were unfounded.
It's not that I don't get upset. Everyone has their fair share of troubles, but every sorrow has its cure. Here's your new VIP pass. Please take good care of it.
Qué raro esta de que comprando pizza, N. Ok. A mí no. Oye, por el pelo de una rana calva.
Huh?
All right,
Bring it on!
Full throttle!
Bow your head.
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal! Light it up!
Silence! Be sanctified.
This one's gonna hurt in the
Settle
morning!
down.
Burn it down! There is no escape! Torn to oblivion!
But a momentary distraction.
Let's hope you play. Let's hope you play. Let's hope
Stabilize.
Rise with the sun!
Silence! Bow your head.
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
Order guide you.
Take them. I have no need.